www.999wefm.com. WeFM News online on demand.
Good afternoon and welcome to WeFM's Midday News, brought to you with the kind compliments of Court St. Vincent Limited.
Sensational savings are here this summer at Courts Optical. Get a free pair of designer sunglasses with your glasses purchase. Now that's sensational. Free sunglasses and your glasses, and you can get it all with no cash. Choose from our flexible credit terms from 3 to 24 months to repay. At Courts Optical, the savings are sensational. You don't want to miss these deals. Conditions apply. See in store for details. Courts Optical. Value you can see.
Welcome back to WeFM's Midday News, brought to you with the kind compliments of Court St. Vincent Limited. I am your presenter, Rajiv Providence. First, on the local scene, the Major Crime Unit within the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force, the RSVGPF, has initiated an investigation into a double homicide that occurred on Thursday, July 14th, 2022 at Block 2000 in Old Montrose. That has resulted in the deaths of Darius Bino, 25-year-old laborer of Old Montrose, and Zimron Richards, 28-year-old laborer of Redemption Sharps. According to preliminary investigations, at about 9:45 p.m., the deceased man was sitting by the side of the public road in the vicinity of the Singer warehouse when a white Nissan car, registration number unknown, drove by and the occupants in the car fired on the men. Both men sustained multiple gunshot wounds on their bodies. Bino was pronounced dead at the scene, while Richards died at the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital from his injuries. A third man was also shot in his left leg and is currently a patient at the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital. The motive for the shootings is unknown at this time. The reported homicides for 2022 now stand at 25. Minister of Agriculture Saboto Caesar is calling on university graduates returning to St. Vincent and the Grenadines to contextualize their studies in order to ascertain how they can be of benefit to the uplifting of the nation. Caesar said due to the unique situation of SVG, it is necessary for persons to go beyond what we've learned in books. We hear more from the Agriculture Minister.
We are witnessing in St. Vincent and the Grenadines the birth of a cadre of young professionals. And I want to speak to them this morning because sometimes I am experiencing when persons return, they do not want to go beyond the books. And we are living in a practical situation. Our circumstances are unique here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, like in any other country, the circumstances are unique. And this is a call this morning for those persons who are listening, who have returned from university, that you have to contextualize what you have studied. So if you did geography, I am certain if you did it in the UK, there wasn't a part of the syllabus dealing with St. Vincent and the Grenadines and the geography of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, except if you did a special dissertation on St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Minister Caesar, while advising young professionals to contextualize their knowledge, also informed that he has an open door policy and that he is open to suggestions, not just from employees within his ministry.
I want to note to all young professionals in the country that I have a very open door policy. If you are a student of agriculture, whether you're studying or you've completed your studies and you look at what we are doing in the ministry, and you have things that you want to suggest, come into the ministry, speak to us, give us the information. You don't have to be a worker in the ministry to offer a suggestion.
That was the Minister of Agriculture, Saboto Caesar. Still on the local scene, veteran Vincentian soca artist and cultural ambassador Rondi Luther McIntosh said he is thankful for the confidence that the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines has placed in him. He is slated to become SVG's new Consul General to the United States of America in New York after a letter from the current Consul General Howie Prince stated McIntosh is his replacement. Thanks to the government of SVG for placing that confidence in me. Watch the manifestation of my works with the wonderful Vincentians in the U.S. diaspora, a Facebook post from McIntosh stated. News of his appointment has drawn mixed reactions from Vincentians on social media. Most of the water tanks currently in storage have been allocated to farmers across St. Vincent and the Grenadines. This is according to Director of the National Emergency Management Organization NEMO, Ms. Michelle Forbes, who made the disclosure in response to a question from a viewer on VC3's Roundtable Talk. We hear more from Ms. Forbes.
The tanks have already been allocated to various sectors or agencies. Most of the tanks have already been allocated to the farmers, and the Ministry of Agriculture is really working out a mechanism to get the tanks to their farmers. Other than that, it's mainly for the educational institutions and the emergency shelters. I know the various agencies who have the responsibility in terms of erecting the tanks and are working on the logistics to ensure that they have the platforms that can be built for the tanks. And I think that has been one of the hold up in disseminating the tanks to those. But basically, the tanks have been already allocated. We don't give tanks to individuals. We have never really done that. We always keep tanks in stock for use in emergencies, mainly for the plants and the CWSC. And if we need to take the CWSC need to take some tanks to the community and so on. That's what we have always been doing. So, with the exceptions that we received last year, they've already been allocated to the various agencies. But while they're still in stock, they already have their owners, if you want to put it that way.
That was the director of the National Emergency Management Organization, NEMO, Michelle Forbes. On to news in the region. The lies of a Guyanese man, Mikhail McLennan, who pretended to be a doctor, continue to unravel as the University of Guyana, UOG, confirmed that he was never registered to study medicine or any other degree program at its campuses. In a statement, UOG said, after reviewing our extensive student records database, the University of Guyana regrets to confirm that Mr. Mikhail McLennan has never been registered as a student in any program at any of the University of Guyana's campuses. The university views this incident very seriously but urges the young man in question and all others wishing to take up significant professions to follow the lawful and bona fide route in doing so. President of the Guyana Cancer Foundation, Bibi Hassan, first highlighted the 27-year-old's ruse after he volunteered as a medical practitioner at an outreach program at Peters Hall, Jama Masjid on July 3rd. In subsequent interviews with the media, McLennan claimed that he was a student doctor, and the Cancer Foundation was well aware that he did not have a license to operate as a physician. McLennan, who owns a modeling agency, has since removed all photos and videos from his social media account, where he was seen dressed in medical scrubs and a lab coat. There have been calls on social media from McLennan to be investigated, as some persons claim that this is not the first time that he pretended to be a doctor. From today, anyone seeking entry into the British Virgin Islands will no longer need to supply a negative COVID-19 test to gain entry to the territory. The decision to amend the COVID-19 control and suppression regulation was taken at the July 13th meeting of Cabinet. In a statement, BVI's Minister of Health and Social Development, Marlon Penn, said the territory is able to relax its COVID-19 suppression measures due to the reduced impact of COVID-19 and the move from pandemic to endemic. Penn said, currently the statistics are revealing that the virus is having a very minimal impact on those affected, and the mortality rates have decreased significantly. That is why we feel at this stage we can reopen the borders and return to pre-COVID normal with regards to travel to the territory. Despite the relaxing of measures, Penn is urging Virgin Islanders to remain vigilant and continue to practice good hand hygiene and wear a mask when in crowds to reduce the risk of exposure. On the international scene, Italian Prime Minister Mario Draghi has tendered his resignation after populist coalition partner Five Star withdrew its support in a confidence vote. The former head of the European Central Bank has led a unity government since February of 2021. In a statement, he said the pact of trust that had sustained the unity government had gone. However, the president refused to accept his resignation. President Sergio Mattarella appointed Mr. Draghi to lead Italy's post-COVID pandemic recovery. and save the country from endemic instability. He has now called on Mr. Draghi to address Parliament to provide a clear picture of the political situation. The effect of President Mattarella's intervention is not entirely clear. Mr. Draghi is expected to go to Parliament next Wednesday and, with sufficient backing, could remain in office. And finally, in sports, Euro 2022 has broken the record for the total attendance at a European Women's Championship, despite still being in the group stage. Euro 2017 in the Netherlands was attended by a total of 240,055 supporters, the record until now. But the 8,173 who watched France beat Belgium 2-1 in Rotterdam took these Euros to a total of 248,075 fans. There are still 15 games remaining, including a likely record crowd for the Wembley final. England's 1-0 win over Austria in the tournament opener was watched by a record 68,871 at Old Trafford, 27,570 clear of the previous landmark when Germany beat Norway in the 2013 final in Solna, Sweden. This has been WEFM's Midday News. I have been your presenter, Rajiv Providence. Join us again at 3 p.m. for WEFM's 3 p.m. News. WEFM's Midday News is brought to you with the kind compliments of Courts, St. Vincent Limited.
Family fun days are here. Now is the time for movie marathons, tasty treats, and outdoor fun. At Courts, we have the TVs, appliances, grills, pools, and more to make your home the place to be. Get it all today with no cash when you shop with Courts Ready Finance. Family fun days are on now. Get what you need at Courts, bringing value home. Offer ends July 23rd. Conditions apply.
Out with the old, in with